Hello.
Oh, Philippe, good
Hello, my
evening.
friend. Sure, it's been a long time.
Yes, so how are you? Nice to see you again.
Really welcome.
Amazing,
It's so
amazing.
lovely to
I'm
see
so happy to see you and thank you very much for joining us. And I think we will have an amazing time together tonight. And as you can see, I dress special for you.
you. Always, always. It's a real joy, and thank you for the opportunity.
Yes. So, Philip, tell our audience about yourself and what do you do?
Well, firstly, good afternoon, good evening to everyone around the world who are watching, and thank you so much for making your time available to connect with us. It's a huge honor and a privilege to be able to engage with you. The British School of Etiquette was very much founded on the vision and focus to help as many people as possible. When Natalia asked me, Philip, what would you like to talk about? I was very clear. It's about the power of etiquette and manners, how we can really make a difference in other people's lives, have a what can I do for you attitude. So the British School of Etiquette, along with my upbringing and the schooling I went to and the studies I did, I've always worked with people and always loved to see people grow and develop. And I know for a fact that we as human beings, when we handle ourselves in a beautiful manner, when we understand the rules of engagement, we can soar to highest levels in our world and in our lives and in our businesses.
So when the British School of Etiquette started, when did you create it?
It launched in 2014, and it launched very quickly and very fast. The first 6 months were unbelievable, and then boom, it fell off the edge. It was a huge, huge concern of mine. Very blessed with an amazing wife. She kept kicking me and pushing me and encouraging me. And shortly after that, believe it or not, later on, Natalia, as you know, you and I met on some incredible coaching programs. So by bringing on a coach into my life and bringing on a team of really dynamic people, the British School of Etiquette then started to gather momentum again. We were able to then really realize the true potential in what we had to offer. We became the only accredited school in our organization to be accredited by the Institute of Leadership and Management, ILM, which is part of City and Guilds, Continued Professional Development Consortium. We're an Investors in People, and now we're a training center of training excellence. We have launched in Brazil, we've launched in Pakistan, we've launched in India, we've launched in Japan. We're going to be launching with you shortly in Russia, Natalia, which is hugely exciting. You and I talked about planting the seed about 3 years ago. And I want to share with the audience out there, nothing is ever achieved unless truly first imagined.
Exactly. So listen, I think when, Philip, you created the British School of Etiquette, I think the main point was who is going to be in your team. You needed, I think, amazing professional coaches. So where did you find
Yes.
them? Maybe you taught them. So how it's happened?
I think again, Natalia, this is always a two-way street. And for me, by doing a huge amount of research, you know, Natalia, you know as well as I do, we all start at a certain level in life. And one thing you do need to realize in life, when you surround yourself with amazing people, when you surround yourself with positive people, and when you surround yourself with people that are better than you, this is how you can create magic. And so engaging in coaching was one of the best things I ever did. And you're quite right. It became a two-way street. I think we can all learn from one another. And this is something that I share with all our students. You know, this is not about the British School of Etiquette saying, oh, you must do things the British way and it's all very prim and proper, blah, blah, blah. It's got nothing to do with that. This is about bringing our cultures together. This is about learning from each other. This is about us respecting one another and showing that respect and making an absolute huge effort not to judge people, not to take the world as we see it today. We need to understand, we need to slow down, and we need to learn to engage with people on a very dynamic and human level.
But I think that, for example, a lot of people, maybe they wish or they would like to study about etiquette and manners, but something stopped them. So maybe they feel they are not good enough, they don't deserve, or maybe it's a little bit embarrassing, you know, to go to this course, because at the moment it's like not everyone use manners and etiquette every day, so something can stop them. So how we can change their mentality and change their mind, and to bring them in, so to tell them that this is still fashionable.
You know, this goes, and I love that question, Natalia. Thank you. For me, this is far deeper. I want people to understand this is joining the head and the heart. We need to join the two together. There's nothing about etiquette and manners is for the smart or posh people. This is the beautiful thing about etiquette and manners. This is for everybody across the world. So from the poorest parts of Russia to the favelas in Brazil and to the squatter camps in Africa. I truly believe that if you bolt on etiquette and manners into your life, you treat people with huge respect, you make an effort with other people, and you are polite and courteous, and that you are kind, and you really make an effort with other people, you can really make an impact in this world. And one of the things we bring into a lot of our coaching and training and guidance is EQ, emotional intelligence. Because I know for a fact that we might be born with a certain IQ. You can't really increase your IQ that much, but you can increase your emotional intelligence. You can grow as an individual. And I truly believe that when you have a good grounding in emotional intelligence, when you educate yourself to learn why do you behave in such a way, why do you react this way, what are my empathy skills like, how do I handle myself under pressure, and you couple that with etiquette and you couple that with manners, they all join together in such a dynamic way. They fit together. It's an amazing platform to leverage off.
Okay, but are etiquette and manners essentially the same, or is there a difference between manners and etiquette?
Okay, lovely question. So I'm going to just summarize how we summarize. So good manners is basically about courtesy, politeness, and having good manners are all about respecting others and yourself. Okay, so good manners is about considering the feelings of other people and being that kind, wonderful, generous person and respecting other people. If you are respectful to others, then you are more likely to be treated with respect by other people. And if you show good manners, everywhere you go, you will be more than likely to encourage good behavior and good energy and amazing connection with people. Whereas etiquette is more defined by a set of rules or customs that control our behavior, and in particular within social groups and social situations. You must be aware that manners and etiquette are more or less a similar sort of thing, and they most certainly are bedfellows. They belong together. They really do. And I think manners are very much the guiding principles of respect and social interaction, whereas etiquette is the unwritten code of exact rules. Manners represent your inner self, whereas etiquette is what and how people perceive you, how they portray you in the general public and when they come into contact with you. So for example, for me, the summary is one represents the way of acting and the other is the way we treat other people.
Yes. So how has etiquette evolved over the years?
Lovely question again. Etiquette is very much, for example, how has it evolved over the years? For example, it's evolving right now under our noses as we speak. Etiquette is something that is almost like the traffic light, so we don't boom into each other, we don't bang into each other. So etiquette is understanding the rules, how we behave in front of other people, how we risk cultural differences. So right now, as you know, for example, with this wretched pandemic, COVID, people have had to learn to adapt and change the etiquette rules of engagement. So for example, no one's going to want to shake hands. So how do we greet someone? So it could be the hand on the heart. Hello, Natalia, lovely to see you. The body language is going to be accentuated. The smile, the engagement with your eyes lighting up. No one's going to be having too many meetings face to face in a hurry. So our etiquette, our rules of engagement through our Zoom calls need to be taken into account. How do I dress? Do I still dress like this? Well, I'm in my house. I'll just get dressed I'll come down in a t-shirt. I'm at home. It's just a Zoom call with my colleagues. No, we need to still elevate ourselves. We still need to show respect by dressing accordingly. What does the background of our backdrop look like? Do we, multitask while we're engaging with people? So etiquette has evolved over the years. As society has grown, we are evolving. So there's etiquette that you have to adhere to when it comes to online social media, for example. So one of the many programs we run is Etiquette classes. How do we conduct ourselves in the social media environment? How do we conduct ourselves on email? So etiquette has evolved as life goes on. It's always moving forward.
Okay, another question, Philip. So how can the power of etiquette and manners help you to make a good first impression?
A lovely question. Firstly, it gives us confidence. So there's that amazing word out there in French, and you do not need to understand or speak French. I will explain this to you. There's an amazing expression in French called savoir-faire. Now, when you look up savoir-faire in the dictionary or in Wikipedia, it's the know-how, the knowledge. And when we have savoir-faire, we have the know-how. So when we have know-how, that for me equals confidence. So what we are doing is when we are coaching and training people, we are equipping people with these amazing skills and tools so that when they walk into any situation, any environment, they can have the know-how, the knowledge. So think about it like this. For any of you wonderful people out there who support football, as you all know, there's a brand here in the United Kingdom called Arsenal, and an Arsenal is a storage box. So it is a storage box for ammunition. I want you to think about etiquette and manners, and you put them in your little ammunition box. And every time you walk into a situation, oh, how do I behave? You open up your little imaginary box and you take out, I know how to handle myself in this situation. I know how to handle myself in that situation. So this is where etiquette and manners are so, so powerful. But I want to share something with all of you. You also need savoir-vivre. In other words, the zest for life. So for anyone who doesn't have a personality or a sense of humor, you need to go and buy one, you need to find one, because you need vava-vom in your life. You can't just be this person who's just perfectly etiquette. You have to have energy, you have to have beautiful sort of sense of humor and a vava-vom in your life. So coupled with savoir-faire and savoir-vivre, you can create yourself into being an amazing person. And Natalia, everything is about practice in life. So when you equip and you take on these beautiful new skills, it's just practice. And the more we practice, the more confident we come. And, there's a lovely expression from Michael Jordan. He says, you will miss 100% of the shots you never take. You will miss 100% of the shots you never take. What do we have to do in life? You've got to take the shot. Otherwise, you will never get anywhere.
I think first it started to practice every day, every time, for example, then it became to be a habit. It's a lifestyle. So it's not maybe manners for everyone. It's supposed to be for everyone, but it's the way people choose or person choose. Someone says, no, it's not for me, and I'm going to behave whatever I want to behave. And some people say, no, I choose this way because I respect myself. I want to respect another people. I want them to respect myself as well. I want to get success. I want to be successful. And it's like the same like a dress code. So manners and etiquette plus dress code, I think this is a connect to each other.
100%. And I love the way you summarize that. Etiquette and manners, ladies and gentlemen, it's not like click, you turn a light switch on and you behave all beautifully, boom, boom, boom. And then you behave and you go back to behaving badly. Etiquette and manners is a lifestyle. It is a way of life. It is about being consistent in your approach on everything you do. And there's a beautiful expression in the English language. You catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. You catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. And I promise everyone out there, you can create magic with good etiquette and manners. It is unbelievable. But we really have to work on this. So for example, never let your mood dictate your manners. So if I wake up in a bad mood today, I mustn't let that affect my normal manners. I must be consistent. And so we teach our students ways on how to circumvent the mindset, how to help you with this incredible mindset, to push yourself up when you're feeling down or whether you're in a mood. We work, as I said earlier, a lot about EQ, a lot about emotional intelligence, giving you these tools to really grow as a human being. And something I really want to share with you as well, Natalia. They recently did a study in the USA with 2 million people. And it is a known fact that people with more dynamic and good EQ, in other words, good EQ, good etiquette, good manners, are earning in a region of $29,000 to $35,000 more per year than other people with poor EQ and bad manners and bad etiquette. So people often ask, how do we get the youngsters to inspire them to change and for them to realize the benefits and the value within etiquette and manners?
Amazing. I love all of this. Do you know, I love all of this, and I worked so hard to be a good girl and to behave well. And of course, when you surround yourself with the people who is the same level of manners or etiquette, is just amazing enjoyment. Exactly. So another question, Philip, why do you think entrepreneurs and business people need etiquette? Being good at your job should be enough, you think?
Great question. The reason that this is so powerful is because actually it's not about being the brightest person anymore. You know, this is gone. This is where, you know, there was a survey done and it was launched on LinkedIn recently that one of the top 5 things that people are looking for within people are EQ. In other words, understanding people, connecting with people. And with the EQ, obviously, is etiquette and manners. Again, I truly believe that when you've got good EQ, it's almost impossible to have bad etiquette and manners. So entrepreneurs and business people out there, we build our businesses on trust and building relationships. You want to build trust and relationships with people, you need to be approachable. You need to be respectful of other people. You need to learn to listen to people. This is one of the tools we share with people, the art of conversation. How do we connect with people? So for example, Natalia, and this is no disrespect to Russia, I've known you for a long time and I know wonderful I've got great Russian friends. They tell me, Philip, in Russia, boom, we like to go direct, boom. We don't like all the small talk and all the little, we just want to go boom, boom, boom. Give me the action, give me the results and just make it happen. Whereas actually in general, the world over, we need to soften that. We need to get to know people. We need to make an effort to understand who we're working with, understand our team members. Let's break the ice with a little bit of small talk and listen when we engage in small talk. You know, a lot of people, they listen to reply. They don't listen to understand. People listen to reply. So that's why people never listen properly. We need to learn to listen, in other words, to understand. And these are just some of the tiny little bits, and I'm scratching the surface of the attributes, why business owners and why entrepreneurs. You equip yourself with good manners and etiquette, and as you referred to earlier, Natalia, how you present yourself. You know, this is a core skill. You and I know this. We've been to many events together, and we get heads turning. Why? Because we make an effort. We show respect for ourselves. We show respect for the people that we're coming into contact with. We make ourselves memorable for the right reasons, not the wrong reasons.
In my experience, when I moved to London, and for me, the most difficult thing it's to say all the time, thank you and please, thank you and please. So yes, please, no, thank you, yes, please, no, thank you. So for me, it was so difficult to repeat this all the time, because in Russia, we don't say like this, we don't use it that often, and this was the problem. But I think to live in London and to have and to had real British traditional teachers and coaches, I think they gave me a lot of etiquettes and manners and good language, which I believe I do have. Maybe I'm not right, but I think it depends. Of course, it depends of traditions and mentality. And different country, they have a different approach to the manners and etiquette. So you told us with the countries you work with. So can you repeat these countries and maybe to give us some examples where is the difference in the etiquette and manners between these countries you work with?
Certainly. So I have the privilege of working with quite a few people from Russia, and we have a very strong following in the Arabic market. So the UAE is an amazing market for us. Funny enough, this whole week I've been working with the most incredible families. You know, they want to learn, they want to understand the importance of engaging with people on different levels. And for me, as a result, I've made a huge effort to start to understand and learn a lot about individual countries, their etiquette and their manners and their traditions and their culture. And in this way, it helps one connect. So there are many, you know, China, the Asian market, again, they do things differently. And in South America, they do things differently. The American people do things differently. So how we eat, for example, you know, people talk about the importance of table manners. And yes, table manners are absolutely crucial. Is this what the British School of Etiquette teaches? We do, of course we do, but it's not our core. It's not our core program. We offer it, and we do a lot of training and coaching around table manners. So my go-to with table manners is it doesn't matter which country you come from. Some countries and cultures, like the Arabic culture, might eat with their hand. In China and the Asian countries, with chopsticks. Some people eat with a fork and a spoon. It doesn't matter what you're using to feed yourself. It's how we conduct ourselves at the table. It's, do we sit up correctly? Are we considerate of our other diners? May I pass you this? How may I assist you right now? Would you care for a glass of water? May I pass you the salt and pepper? We don't put elbows on the table. It doesn't matter which culture you come from. It's just a no-no. We don't sit badly. We sit with beautiful posture. So we teach the importance of posture, keeping your shoulders back, making sure that you're sitting, using your stomach muscles to really sit upright, and giving people the tools that it doesn't matter which country or culture you go to, you still have these consistent, amazing mannerisms and table manners, or this amazing etiquette and the way you deal with yourself in the various cultures. So it's all about respecting one another.
So what do you think, what is the most difficult countries or nationalities to work with, from your experience, of course?
You know, I actually cannot pinpoint that. I have to say that because it's amazing how many people from the various countries want to learn. They realize what the benefits are. They realize, wow, if I take this on, if I go and learn this and I incorporate it into my life, my world will open up. It'll change. I mean, Natalia, we get requests. I mean, we've just had a request from Mongolia. I was working with two amazing ladies in Vietnam last week. The Arabic countries, Bermuda, Jamaica, the Bahamas, Russia, Serbia, Poland, France, you name the countries, Portugal, Brazil, you name the countries, and you'll be amazed at the inquiries we get from all over the world. So it's not about a case of difficulty. I think the beautiful thing for us is people are really receptive to what we're offering, and they see the benefit and they see the value. Now, sometimes there's a group class going on, and someone sits at the back there going, what's this guy going to teach me, or what's the school going to teach me? And then we explain to people that this is not just about the knife and fork. This is not about just yes, sir, no, sir, or please and thank you. Yes, it's including that, but it's so much deeper. It is so much deeper. You know, we had an amazing class today with a governess for an Arab family. And she said to me, Philip, and she grew up in the north of England, and she sent me an amazing message. She said, Philip, I cannot thank you enough, because I just thought etiquette and manners were how we sit around the table and yes, please. And you've given me so much value and so much in-depth knowledge. You have motivated me to become an amazing person.
Did you have this kind of situation when you came to teach some manners course, let's say, and the client says, do you know, Philip, I don't want this, let's move on to another level or to another topic. So it's like a difficult clients, and without like like, I don't want this, do you know how to behave, to say yes, thank you, please, or whatever. Let's do another subject. Did you have this situation?
Thank goodness, no. And you know, we've been very blessed with amazing. I mean, Natalia, the quality and the caliber of people walking through the doors is just, it makes my day. I cannot believe how fortunate we are. I'd love to answer that question though. Many years ago, when you and I were working and doing some stuff together, I had the privilege of working with some bad teenagers. So in other words, there was a TV program here in the UK called Bad Teen to Ballroom Queen. Bad Teen to Ballroom Queen. So they took these 8 teenagers, girls and boys, 4 girls, 4 boys, and they were seeing if they could turn them into these ballroom dancers. And these were real. I mean, these kids had been in jail, in juvenile prisons. They were rough. They were, you know, you see the introduction into the series, this is not messing around stuff. And on the 4th week, they were given the task that they came to spend a lesson with the British School of Etiquette. And this was being filmed live. So there was no take and retake. It was camera action, boom, go. And when we were setting up with the film crew, the teenagers hadn't arrived yet. The film crew who'd been working with them now for 4 weeks, they said, you know, Philip, be careful. These guys are a bit lippy. They're a little bit aggressive, a bad attitude. They might ask, you know, they might try and make fun of you. Just be on your guard. And the one thing I've realized through life is having this amazing ability to connect with people on all levels. And this is something we teach and give our students guidance on. And I knew that I had a very short window with these teenagers. So when they walked in, I'm dressed beautifully and smartly. They're walking in, you know, real like, hey man, attitude. And I say, good evening everyone, please do sit, put each partner there, and we sat them on either side of each other, two couples on either side. And I went to the front of the room and I greeted them along the following lines. I went down to their level. I said, good evening. I'm not here to trip you up. I'm here to guide you, steer you, and we're going to learn from each other. We're going to grow together in the next hour and a half. And I want to share with you that no question is a stupid question. The only stupid question is the one that you never ask. So I am here for you, and you are going to have the ability, we're going to work together. You know, we went on over 2 hours coaching and training. The film crew had to stop and say, we need to pack up now. At the end, these teenagers were crowding around me. Mr. Philip, can you share this with me? How do I do this? And I never saw the footage until the February. So this is October 2018. We only saw the footage in February when it was shown live on television in 2019. And they interviewed these teenagers at the end of the series of that particular. And one of the kids said, this is possibly the best thing I've ever attended. This is something that it's changing my life. I will be able to walk around the streets with more confidence, no one looking at me thinking, what's wrong with this guy? What's this? And it just gives me goosebumps sharing the story with you.
Wow, it's amazing story. So I have another question. So tell our audience, what's the philosophy behind the British School of Etiquette?
The philosophy and the vision and the focus, firstly, there's passion. There is so much passion. And every day I wake up with saying my gratitude and just being so wonderfully fortunate to do what we do. I'm possibly, and I don't say this lightly, I'm possibly one of the most fortunate people in the world to do what I do. The philosophy and the vision and focus is to help as many people and let them understand, you know, by inculcating manners and etiquette and these important life skills, these soft skills into your world, you can do anything. You can achieve your wildest, most incredible dreams. And so our vision and focus, I know what my why is. My why is to help and change people's lives. And we do that. And the beautiful thing.
Which courses do you have in the British School of Etiquette? Which courses? So it's how many do you have?
So for the professional people out there, we have an entry-level course called the Polished Professional. So the Polished Professional is very much about business etiquette. We obviously don't just talk about business etiquette. We talk about, you know, motivating you to another level within your business mindset as well. So that's the Polished Professional. We have a brand name which is trademarked called Etiquette. So Etiquette is for children from 6 to 11 years old. which is an amazing program, very much interactive. We help them with a little bit of growth mindset. We then have the teenager program called Mindset and Manners, another trademark name. So that's working with teenagers, helping them build their confidence, their mindset, sharing with them the importance of etiquette and manners, giving them the ability to understand how to get that into university, how to get that job. So that's Mindset and Manners. We then run social etiquette programs on a private level, so people can book a 1-day program, 2-day program, 3-day program. We then have our flagship program, which is Train the Trainer. So training people who want to go into this industry to go out there and help people and train people around the world. We've had over 60 people attend our Train the Trainer program, and we're starting one on Monday, where we've got 5 students starting on Monday with us. And then recently we've launched Leading with Emotional Intelligence. In other words, the secret sauce for entrepreneurs and business owners. So Leading with Emotional Intelligence. We've launched this new program, which we are hugely excited about. And then we offer other little things like, if you want a dining etiquette module, we can just do that. If you want an afternoon tea module and have a bit of fun with afternoon tea, you can do that. So there's some fun courses, and we have the experiences. So like taking people to Ascot and having a really wonderful day with a butler and beautiful fine dining and the elegance of the races.
What about online courses? Do you run them?
Natalia, we've actually been so blessed again. We've managed to, since March, we've pivoted all our programs online. Everything we're doing now is online. Everything. We're using either Microsoft Teams, or we use Google Drive, the Google platform, or Zoom. So all our coaching is now being delivered through the internet.
Philip, how can you help entrepreneurs to achieve their goals? So they came to you and they said, we need something, like we are traveling a lot and we don't know maybe different mentalities. We don't know how to behave in a different countries. So how you can help them to achieve their goals?
Well, that's a lovely question. We basically find out, what their needs and wants are. I think, Natalia, you know as well as I do, when you listen to what people need and want, you can then solve a problem. You can then offer a solution. So it's about really engaging with each client, each customer, and finding out what their needs are. What are their insecurities? Where do they want to build their confidence? Where do they want to grow? And when they come to us and we ask the correct questions, we can then develop a package to help them on their journey. And I was going to say earlier, the beautiful thing about guiding and steering people is this is not a product that you do in a year's time. This is you start now. You start the moment you finish the program. Boom, you start now. You start to practice and you start to, act until you become it. Act until you become it. So we have the various tools and the knowledge of different cultures and backgrounds, and we would then incorporate that into our programs.
Perfect. And you mentioned that emotional intelligence underpins your teaching of etiquette. What is emotional intelligence and why do we need it?
For me, I'm so passionate about etiquette and manners. For me, EQ is something which is just the core of everything in life. We in this world, as I said earlier, we can be super smart. But if you do not know how to handle your own emotions, handle other people, how to motivate people, how to encourage people, show kindness, show empathy, how do we motivate ourselves? And this is all what EQ is. There's a fantastic gentleman out there by the name of Daniel Goleman. And he wrote a book which is entitled Why EQ Matters More Than IQ. And for anyone out there who doesn't know anything about EQ, emotional intelligence, I would urge you to read that book. So it's Daniel Goleman, Emotional Intelligence, Why It Matters More Than IQ. Now, I'm going to go back to the original question. For us, EQ, emotional intelligence, is all about attaching the heart and the head. And as the saying goes, when I know myself, I will be free. And this is what EQ is about, is learning and building yourself and learning about everything there is to know about your emotions, your feelings, your being on this earth.
So this is a question from myself. So I'm very interested. I learn a little bit about etiquette, and I've seen the picture, and I've seen a lot of people who use these things. So when they put finger, little finger, pink finger out, so what does it mean? So I would like, for us, for normal people, we think that this is a very posh and intelligent, and we are very elegant and like aristocratic way. But tell us the truth. What does it mean, and do we need to use it or not?
Talia, I love that. So I've got my teacup here with me. I knew you were going to ask me a trick question. So in the early days, I want to share with everyone, in the early days, the cup never had a handle. So the cup never had a handle. So people used to hold the cup like this and then drink the tea like that. And this finger was put there for balance. And then when the handle was then created, people thought this was still very elegant. And actually, it looks silly for a start. Why would you put your finger up in the air like that? And I've been led to believe that when you're drinking your tea like this and you look around the room and you see someone else pointing their finger like this, maybe they're showing that they're single, or they would like a little bit of an engagement, or maybe a little bit of an introduction. So I'm not sure how true that is, but next time anyone goes around for a cup of tea and they see someone drinking like this, maybe the person's single, maybe the person wants some company. So I would urge everybody just to bring the pinky in. You would never see high society within the United Kingdom, especially the royal family. They would never be drinking their tea with the pinky up. So we say, let's fold the pinky in. Although if you're single and you want to find somebody, then you can put the pinky out.
Wow, it's interesting. It's completely different. It's completely different what we thought. Wow. Yeah,
and
so it's...
to share with you, Natalia, is when we stir our tea, we don't stir our tea like this. We go 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. It's very elegant. 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and then we would rest the teaspoon on the side of the cup like that. We never drink our tea with the teaspoon left in the cup. So when we stir, we just stir 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, maybe 2 or 3 times, and then we would rest the teaspoon on the saucer like that.
So we don't need to mix it. Okay, interesting. Wow. Okay, so about a little bit English people. So it's very interesting. Tell us, please, why English people always say very often, thank you and please and thank you, please. So where is this came from?
Firstly, it's very much a strong element of respecting other people, firstly, and appreciating. I think the word appreciate, it's a way to say, I appreciate it, rather than saying I appreciate it, I appreciate it. The thank you and the please is a beautiful, kind way to ask for something. It softens the question, or it softens the appreciation. So, please, may I have a cup of tea, rather than, can I have a tea? Or can I have a cup of tea? May I have a cup of tea, please? It softens. So believe it or not, Natalia, I'm going to elaborate a little bit on this. Whether you know it or not out there to these amazing people listening, is that 76 to 80% of our communication is non-verbal. And that includes our tone of voice. And that includes what comes out of our voice. So the non-verbal communication, tone of voice is hugely important. So when we say please and thank you with a beautiful tone attached to it, you're going to get more value from the other person. So pleases and thank yous are showing respect, they show appreciation, and they also give you the opportunity to connect with the other person. It's not just a demand, because without the please and thank you, that means tea, coffee. That is you're not going to win any friends. People will treat you with reluctance. They will serve you with reluctance. So if you want to get better service and better customer interaction or people interaction, use soft, gentle words. And on one of the courses, the Polished Professional, we share with people. And funny enough, when we teach butlers and teach service staff on how to connect with people, when we teach entrepreneurs, we teach them professional language skills, language of a professional. So one of the brands we work for is Alfred Dunhill. And when we work with the floor staff, we give them these tools on how to connect with people with professional language skills.
So do you think it's difficult to live life with the full of etiquette and manners, and then other people, they don't live this kind of life, and sometimes maybe you feel lonely or a misunderstanding from another people, and how do you manage this?
How do you manage this? Okay, so this is a great question. And I'm going to share with you the benefits, okay? So the real benefits of etiquette and manners. Why are they so important in our lives? Firstly, they help us earn respect, okay? They definitely, you know, the golden rule, Confucius, 551 BC. He came along, he was a Chinese philosopher, and he was the person that introduced the golden key or the golden rule. Treat others the way you expect them to treat you. So by encouraging this amazing mannerism with people, we don't need to lower ourselves to someone else's mannerism. We want to keep ourselves consistent. By connecting with people with beautiful manners and etiquette, you're going to earn respect. You are 100% going to earn respect. The second thing it's going to do for you, it's going to charm your personality. It's going to give you that amazing ability for people who actually want to spend time with you because of that charm and that elegance and the way you handle certain situations. They make relationships far smoother. We know that as well. When we respect people and we engage with people with good manners and etiquette, you're going to have far better connection with people. You're going to have a better relationship with people. The fourth one that I want to share with you, which I shared with you earlier, the savoir-faire, which equals confidence. So having good etiquette and manners, the know-how, how to handle yourself in any situation, 100% confidence. It is unbelievable. The fifth one is they keep us motivated and happy. They do. When you've got good manners and etiquette, you can lift yourself up. You can get yourself to another level. You can talk to yourself. You have the self-motivation. They give us the ability to leverage ourselves to another level. And the final one, the final amazing benefit of having good manners and good etiquette, and the importance of good manners and etiquette, is they impart strength to digest failure. They impart strength to digest failure. In other words, we don't always get it right. We don't. We lose sometimes. But having good manners and etiquette, you can really raise your level and you can move on.
Philip, who you really enjoy to work with the children, with the adults, with the woman, with the man, who you really enjoy with?
Oh, that's a lovely question. I've never really thought about that because I look at it all as the most wonderful opportunity, and I'm not avoiding the question. You know, children are amazing. They're like sponges. So if you come across with the right approach and you get onto
Так, интернет. Oh, sorry, guys. We cut off, sorry. Okay. Here we are. We connect with the Philip again. I hope it's very interesting.
Natalia, we're back.
Yes.
We're back. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Sorry, everyone. So who do I love to work with? You know, children are like sponges. They're amazing. And, you know, you've got to get onto their wavelength and their level. Teenagers, I think, are more challenging because they're going, why did my parents send me here? What am I doing here? And you've really got them to get them on side quickly. So that's always a wonderful challenge. And then adults, you know, again, I have to say to you, I love all the different levels of people we work with. It's phenomenal because each time is a different challenge. Each time it's a different personality you're dealing with.
Yes, so we have a question from our international networking club of good people.
Yes.
So Manisha Bala, so she asked us, in our business, we find ourselves often having to educate especially younger team members on all aspects of manners, from dressing appropriately to using the correct cutlery. We are surprised how many are unaware of basic manners. We find ourselves frequently forced to accept low standards of etiquette to fear of appearing overly conventional and losing younger staff who find manners stifling. It's a lot of new words for me. Any
Lots of new
tips?
words.
Yes, any tips on how to persuade millennial generation that etiquette is still relevant? Wow.
Oh, love the question. Well read. That is a big mouthful, Natalia. Well read. My answer to that is very straightforward. We need to share with people across the world, no matter what age we are, what are the benefits and what's the value attached to it. What can you achieve if you bring good manners and etiquette into your world? Where do you want to go in life? Ask them a question. Where do you want to go in life? And if they come up, I want to do X, Y, and Z. It's about sharing with them and giving them a roadmap that you can bolt on so many things. You can bolt on learning etiquette, learning manners, because this is what gets noticed. People with good EQ, I referred to this earlier, people with great EQ get noticed. People with great EQ climb the ladder so much more quickly than any other type of person who has a low EQ. So for me, I think you just don't give up. Share with the young generation that this is something, it's not a nice to have. It's actually a need to have. And especially in this competitive world we live in, it's very much a need to have. So as long as you share the benefits and value to what manners and etiquette can do for you, and give them examples of who has achieved amazing things, and then look at the character of that human being, look at the makeup of that human being, and you will discover that 99% of the people who've really done unbelievable, amazing things in this world have conducted themselves through good EQ and good manners and good etiquette.
Thank you. Thank you. I think if we will have more questions, so we will pass it to you and connect with the people. So another question from Good People group, from Ala Glendenning. She asked, if you had to bullet points the 5 major points of etiquette, what would they be?
Sorry, sorry, Natalia, repeat that one more time.
Yes, so if you had bullet, yes, if someone mocked you, bullet, yes. So which, like 5 major points, how to manage of etiquette way with these people?
Yeah, I think if I understand the question correctly, I think this is all about, this is about learning to respect yourself. So in other words, we as human beings, we need to fill our love cup first. We need to fill ourselves with what we need in order to be able to portray ourselves out there. So at the end of the day, people are going to connect with you and see you set by example. So equip yourself with good etiquette and manners. Get to know what the rules of engagement are. Get to understand what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. Get to understand the power of body language. Get to understand the importance of deportment. Get to understand the importance of presentation. Get to understand that these are like the traffic lights in society. We all, for those of us who drive motor cars, we stop at the red light, we go at the green light. The amber light is a warning. We need to conduct ourselves in this way. And, there's a wonderful expression. You don't often get a second chance to make a good first impression.
What do you think about manners came from the parents, you think, or from whom?
Manners, it starts at home. Absolutely. It's up to us as parents to guide and steer our children, 100%. We cannot expect the schools to teach our children manners and etiquette. It's not their remit. They should be teaching it, but they're not. Because the curriculum for children today, there is a lot of pressure on our children. And the pressure is academia, academia, academia. So unfortunately, schools are missing out on giving them more the soft skills. And funny enough, more so now than ever before, we are being approached by various schools and even universities to put some programs together to help the children, to help the teenagers with some core life skills, just to help them. Because Natalia, as you know, I don't want to sort of put this in the wrong context, but there's the old cliche in life, monkey see, monkey do. So if your children see you behaving badly at home and behaving in a certain way, your children are going to behave exactly the same way. It is we have what we call the inner chimp inside us. So there's an amazing book which we share a review every 2 weeks. But there's a wonderful book called The Inner Chimp. It's the inside chimp. We either, in human beings, we either have the fight mentality or we have the run mentality. And that part of the brain has not developed ever since we came into existence. So that is a very prehistoric part of our brain. So what we see from our parents, we're going to become that individual. And you know, one thing I can honestly say, I am an absolute product of my parents. My parents were unbelievably focused on manners, on etiquette. They were strict, they were loving, they were kind, they were very fair, and they sent us to a very good school, which again topped up the etiquette and manners. So your question, sorry to come up with such a long answer, but it is very much starts at home.
But I think as well, sometimes parents, they don't really care about etiquette. Some parents, they don't care. But children, when they grow, they like it. They love this. They would like to be different than their parents. They would like to choose different way than their parents. So they choose the way they wish. They educated themselves differently than their parents. Sometimes they feel maybe embarrassing for their parents, but they cannot do anything. So we don't choose parents, and we need to respect them whatever they are. And this is, I think, the problem, because, but in Russia, what about Russia? I see, and I can see that now etiquette and manners became to be very modern again. And people start to think about, to talk about, to maybe to study a little bit. Maybe they heard, maybe they seen something, so they try to provide to their children the best they can. Of course, maybe they would like to, like wealth people, wealth families, for example, they maybe would like to find someone like a coach or tutor, governor, you know, to their children with the etiquette already, as like a Mary Poppins, let's say, Mary Poppins style.
Yes,
yes, because people start to think about, but do you think etiquette only for the rich people, or everyone can be educated, well-mannered?
everybody. Natalia, this is for the world. This is for everybody. And I've seen some amazing people come from nothing in life. And just because of their amazing manners, their amazing etiquette, they have been accepted on all levels, and they have grown into being the most wonderful, successful people. So manners and etiquette is for everybody. This is the beautiful thing. Manners and etiquette, and unfortunately, Natalia, many people associate manners and etiquette. Oh, it's for the upper classes, it's all for the rich people, it's for royalty. Actually, you couldn't be further from the truth. Manners and etiquette, think about it. It's about the respect for ourselves, respect for other people. It's about, you know, someone, Natalia, asked me the other day, they said, Philip, give me a quick summary of etiquette and manners. And I said, well, firstly, have a what can I do for you attitude. Put people at ease in a very short space of time. This is the ability to make people feel comfortable in a very short space of time. Go through life with the mentality of, if you go through the life with the mentality of, if we all do a random act of kindness on a daily basis, we may just set the world in the right direction. And one of the final things, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. Be kind. Go through life with those 4 key things I shared with you. Boom, you can change your world.
Amazing, Philip. We have 2 minutes left, and it was too short time. It's never enough time with you, and of course we are going to create something amazing for our people, for Russia, because we need you, we need your experience, we need your mind, you know, to bring to us, to our children, to our country, because it's just unbelievable. And I think everyone needs to think about it. Everyone needs to be better, because we live only one life. And ask yourself which life you are going to live. So tell few words to our audience. 1 minute for you.
Sure. I've got, and I see some really wonderful people joining this. And Ola Sylvia in Canada, who's from South America, she's been through our programs. You know, for me, I want to share a story. 2 little mice. They're running around the kitchen and they love eating cheese, but they're beautiful. The caviar for mice is fresh cream. Beautiful, beautiful cream. So they see this bucket of cream and they jump up, boom. And they're lipping and they're licking the cream. And then they fall into this bucket of cream. And these mice, as you can imagine, cream and the mice's fur, oh, it sticks. It's like glue. So these little mice are paddling, 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 all little 4 legs, going, 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 going. And the one mouse turns to the mouse, I can't do this, it's too difficult. The other mouse says, yes, you can, come on, you can do it. And he's paddling, paddling, paddling. And the mouse says, I can't do it anymore. And he gives up. And the little mouse, one just drowns. But the other mouse is paddling and paddling and paddling. And it turns the cream into butter. Turns the cream into butter, and it jumps out the bucket. So in life, we have to ask ourselves, which mouse do you want to be?
Amazing, Philip. Thank you very much, because I don't want our life just switch off. So thank you very much for your time. Keep in touch, and we will invite you for another 1 hour, another 100 hours. So stay with us. Thank you for amazing hour.
Thank you, Natalia.
Guys, thank you very much for this time. I just enjoy. I enjoy really, because I know Philip, and he came to my children and spent time with my children and taught them a lot of different things, and my children enjoyed this very much. And I know that this person can bring us a lot. So thank you very much, and good night. Bye bye. Speak later. Speak soon.